Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good day today. I didn't have a video recorded today, but I wanted to sit down and talk for a little bit and maybe just get something real out to you guys. I feel like I don't get enough of these videos out where I just kind of sit here and talk to you guys for a little bit. I love interacting with you guys in any way, and like these kinds of videos are a great way for me to do that. But there's some things that have been kind of messing with me lately that I would love to talk to you guys about, and that's what this video is going to be. So if you came here for entertainment, or if you're coming here from outside the channel, I apologize. This isn't really a video that's going to be entertaining per se, but I do hope you stick around, and I do hope you listen to what I have to say, because I need to get a few things off my chest. First and foremost, you saw the title of the video. I need to slow down. I have been keeping myself busy in the content sphere and zeitgeist for 5 years. 5 years ago, I started this channel, and I started uploading content, and I started streaming shortly after I started the YouTube channel. And I've been keeping myself busy and doing more and more and more, and just piling things on top of each other to the point where I've gotten to now, which is causing a complete and full-blown mental breakdown. You know, the videos suffer because I put my focus into the streams, and then the streams suffer when I put my focus into the videos. And now I've got my own merch company with Blue Screen, and that takes time away from both of those things. And it hasn't been until the last couple months I've realized that I'm keeping myself in this perpetual cycle of always being busy and always doing more and more, to the point where I don't sleep. I'm consistently anxious and nervous about things, and because of that, everything suffers. My YouTube channel suffers, the Twitch streams suffer, social media suffers just in general, friendships suffer. Like, there's been a lot that I've been doing that has completely stressed me out to the point where all of this shit is starting to collapse around me. Hence the title of this video being, I need to slow down. Because something I realized in the last week and some change is that I don't think I'm a streamer. I don't think I'm the kind of guy that can just go on stream and do wacky shit and like plan all these cool events and collaborations, and you know, I can't figure out the content side of streaming to make it interesting enough to keep people coming in, and I can't differentiate myself enough in order to stand out from the crowd of existing streamers. You know, when I first started making content on YouTube, when I first started streaming under Raeal, I was one of the first and one of the only furry kind of content streamers. At least, if I wasn't that niche, but I filled a specific niche that needed to be filled at the time, and therefore the channel kind of blew up. And I think ever since then, if I'm being honest with myself, I've been playing a game of catch up. I've been playing a game of trying to figure out how to keep this momentum going, you know, trying to come up with new ideas for things. I would constantly put more pressure on myself to do more, be more, perform more. And each video had to be better than the last. Each stream had to be a gimmick, and it legitimately got to the point where recently I've realized just how suffocating Twitch has become for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love streaming, I love interacting with you guys, and I love playing games on stream. The problem I run into is I can't produce a stream as confidently or in the same way that I can produce a YouTube video. And if you guys remember, if you've been here since the beginning, since I started doing before I even had VR, I did really put a focus in the YouTube side of things before I even touched the Twitch side of things. Twitch at the time was a hobby thing, right? I would edit my videos for the week, I would get everything set, get the thumbnails commissioned and everything, and only after all that work was done, I would take a little break for myself, and then I'd stream for like 2 or 3 hours in the evening when I was done with everything. At some point down the line, that flipped around. I was no longer focusing on YouTube videos, and I was focusing on doing streaming. Because at the time, streaming was paying the bills. Streaming by far was paying way more than YouTube. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll swap over here, we'll do some stream stuff, we'll have fun, you know, and I'll be able to pay like my rent and everything, like it'll be good. And it would have been good if I actually put the effort into making the streams something that people would actually want to watch. Unfortunately, I never got new hardware. I don't have face tracking. I don't have the hand tracking that a lot of 3D models have for streamers. I don't have a lot of things. I never improved the stream because I didn't know how to improve the stream. In my mind, it was definitely an imposter syndrome thing where it was like, well, if people want to watch me, they'll watch me. If they don't want to watch me, then they'll go somewhere else to watch somebody else. And it was really defeating and deflating because the more that would happen, the more isolated I felt. The more sort of like, again, this goes into my biggest issue, which I've talked with my therapist about, which is I know what my problems are, but I don't do anything to fix them. And I think this is that breaking point overall. Just to make a long story short, just to like keep this video from being an hour fucking long, which the therapist, and I'm gonna touch on some parasocial and therapist shit here in a second because that is another point of contention I have with people lately. But I know what's wrong with myself, and I've constantly just pushed it back saying like, oh no, it'll fix itself, it'll get better. And then I try to be consistent with something, and then my fucking spicy ADHD brain says, no, you can't do that. You're gonna shut down now. You're gonna get executive dysfunction because that's what you get for being a content creator for 5 years. And then always comparing yourself to other people and feeling like you don't belong on these platforms, even though people adore what you do. And logically, I know that what I do makes people happy, and I'm really glad I get to do what I do. But it's only recently I've been talking with my therapist about this whole imposter syndrome thing, about how I feel like I see all of my friends doing these great things that I was doing 3 years ago, and I wish I could have that back. That is nobody's fault but mine. But at the same time, it's something I can control. It's something that I can chase after. It is a goal that is obtainable. So, where am I going with all this? The title of the video says I need to slow down. How am I going to slow down? I'm going to flip my priorities again. I'm putting less of a priority on Twitch and more of a priority here on YouTube. My goal is to get a video out a week, edited with a thumbnail with a good title, featuring VR content or content that I'm really enjoying, either from the streams or from games I play or just from VR in general. And I'm going to put less of an emphasis on Twitch and put that lower on my list of priorities underneath YouTube and Blue Screen. What that'll look like is I'm going from 4 days of streaming a week to 3, and instead of 4 to 5 hours, I'm going 2 to 3 hours per stream. That is a massive cut in the amount of times I'll actually be streaming and the amount of time I will be streaming. But what I think I need to focus on are the stuff that make me feel like I'm accomplishing things. And one of those things is making YouTube videos. I mentioned earlier that I don't understand the production side of Twitch or how to produce a Twitch stream that's fun and engaging. I just kind of sit behind my computer and play a game for 3 hours and be like, okay, bye, we'll have a good time, we're done. That's my level of production for Twitch because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. That being said, I have the opposite problem with YouTube. I have so many ideas for YouTube. I'm great with the production side when I can actually focus on YouTube. With Twitch stressing me out as much as it is right now, I think it's smart for me to move to this more YouTube heavy sort of editing schedule, getting clips out, getting content out to you guys on a weekly basis. And my goal, I know I said at the beginning of this year I wanted 1 video a week, and I've already failed that. So my goal this time around is 20 videos. I want to do 20 videos with this new schedule that I have in mind and reevaluate from there. Just be consistent. be less harsh on myself. Just enjoy what I'm doing, because if I enjoy what I'm doing, you guys will enjoy it too. And that's my plan. I want to get myself set on a schedule. I've gone so far as to do a daily schedule, which is available to patrons. If you guys want to see what my daily editing schedule is going to look like, you can go over there to Patreon or click the link down in the description below. There will be a PDF download for everything I have written up. I've done 5 pages, I think, of write-ups for what I think I need to do in order to structure myself moving forward, which is something I've never done before. Now I want to move on to the other big problem I have. And this is a community problem. And this is something I really need you guys to listen to. Going back, I mentioned parasocial behavior and people trying to insert themselves as my therapist. And I want to talk about this right now. I have a licensed therapist who is helping me. I do not need people infantilizing me or treating me like a child or trying to insert themselves into being my therapist when I don't even know you. That does more harm than good, and you're actively pushing me away rather than trying to help me. I get and I understand there are some people in this community that really want to help, but you are not helping when you pretty much negate the last 6 months of progress I've been making by saying that I'm wrong or my therapist is wrong. You don't know me. I don't know you. I don't care about your opinion when it comes to what I need to do with my own therapy. All I care about is making sure I'm getting my therapy from my therapist. Your concern and your opinions are valid, but you don't get to insert yourself into my life. You do not get to force your way in. The only people even remotely close to being able to do that are my actual friends, are my family, the people that I care about the most. And watching my content does not make you my friend. I need to iterate that very clearly. I love my community, and I love you guys, and I love interacting with you. But there are some bad actors in this community that take that way too far. And it's driving me away from interacting with my community more and more and more. I'm less active in my Discord because of it. I'm less active replying to comments because of it. It's weird. It makes me uncomfortable. And on top of that, when I say something makes me uncomfortable, respect that and back off. There's only been a few occasions of this where people have tried to insert themselves in places they didn't need to be, and I just want to make a statement right now about it. I know what's wrong with me. I don't need you telling me what's wrong with me, especially if you're not my therapist. I am open to constructive criticism, to things about my videos or my streams that maybe would help the production side of things, that would help the entertainment side of things. But you do not get to insert yourself into my life. It's gotten to the point where I just mute the accounts or block them entirely and move on. There's been a few people here on YouTube that when they comment, you never see their comments because they are exactly like that. It goes back to the whole don't infantilize me. Don't treat me like a child. Don't treat me like a baby. I'm 30 years old. I'm an adult. I'm capable of figuring my own shit out. And while I appreciate that you want to help, you want to give me advice, unless I specifically ask for it, do not give it. Especially when it comes to something as important as mental health. Mental health should only be talked about between you and a professional. It should only be talked about between a qualified person who is capable of handling that stuff if you've gotten to the point of needing a professional to help. And that is the boundary I'm setting with you guys. I will update you about my mental health when I think it's necessary to update you. This is why we're ending the subathon early, and today will be the last day for the subathon, because my mental health has gotten to the point where I'm not going to be able to finish this subathon and do it in a way that I'm going to be happy with. So I'd rather go out on my own terms. But you don't get to sit here and tell me what the fuck to do when you don't know what's in my head. It's getting to the point where I honestly feel like I have to disconnect myself entirely from the internet. And the only reason I'd ever come onto the internet is if I have something to post. I don't want to do that. I love interacting with you guys. I love interacting with my community. But this level of infantilization that I'm getting, this level of parasocial behavior I'm getting, has to fucking stop. I don't want it. So I just wanted to leave that there. I need to slow down. I'm speed, as one of my friends said the other day, I'm speed running my own burnout, and I can feel I'm burned out. I can feel I'm tired. I can feel I'm not happy with what I'm doing. So I think I need a short period to reset. I need a short period to sort of figure myself out and understand, or go, like I said, go to my therapist, talk about this stuff, and figure out what I want to do moving forward, because the changes I'm going to be making are going to be a band-aid on a bigger problem, and that bigger problem is the thing that needs to be focused on. I don't plan on going anywhere. I don't plan on ending this YouTube channel. You might see some changes moving forward, some pretty major changes that I'm not ready to announce just yet, but this guy has something to do with it. And overall, I think I just need to reset and figure out what I want to do and why I started making content in the first place. Because I miss when I could just join in on friends and just record wacky shenanigans with Soa or the group. And I feel like I don't do that anymore. I feel like most things are just kind of a gimmick, which for all intents and purposes, this is my job. It has to get views or else I don't get paid and I can't pay my rent. But at the same time, there's some level of genuineness that I like to have in my videos where all the reactions you see, all the interactions you see with people are genuine interactions. They're not staged. That's just what's been on my mind. And I appreciate you guys that are here watching this video that want to see what I have to talk about. And I'm sure this is just a rambly mess. I apologize, because this is completely off script. This is just stuff that's been on my head that I want to get out, that I want to talk about. And like I said, I don't do these videos as often as I would like to, where I just sit down and I just talk. Because sometimes just talking about it is enough to help me internalize what I need to do. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm not looking for advice, so if you have any advice to leave down in the comments, please don't leave that in the comments. Tell me what your favorite drink is. How about that? Maybe we'll do a drink tasting like video or something in the future. Bottom line, I'm getting myself fixed. I'm working on myself, but working on yourself takes time. And right now, where I'm at mentally, it's probably going to be a little bit longer before I can 100% say that I'm better. But I think less internet time, less time focused on streams, and more time focused on YouTube will definitely be a good thing for me. But thank you everybody so much for watching. If you'd like to see more of this character, consider subscribing to the channel and check us out on Twitch today, because our last stream for the subathon is today at 4 p.m. CST. I'm hoping this video gets out before then. If this message makes it in, we're still streaming. So check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.